Yes, I know. I don't know you, but I don't know that.
All right. Have you ever seen that guy before? Two cell phones. In this day and age, it is actually not really that surprising. Soon, if you fly Virgin Atlantic, you can take your cell phone in the air, talk while you're in flight. And when was the last time that you walked down the street and people were actually looking up while they walked and not down at their cell phones? Well, there is a new book. It's called Hooked, The Pitfalls of Media Technology and Social Networking, and it delves into our device-crazed lives. And Greg Jantz is the book's author. I'm so glad to see you here.
Yes.
I feel like I need a personal session with you when it comes to this because I left my cell phone behind yesterday and I went into ultimate panic mode.
Oh, it does that to us.
It does that to us. So let's start with our smartphones. Okay. We have some video of a woman who's texting on her smartphone and she walks into a fountain.
Oh, yes.
We've seen a lot of this lately. So what has happened to us that we can't be without being in arm's length of our cell phones, our smartphones, our tablets, all of it? What is going on?
Well, it's become connected to us. It's a part of who we are. See, I'm holding mine right now.
Yes, we can't let go.
And I was showing you, I was watching my house before this interview. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. We're connected because it's not a cell phone. This is our life. It's our relationships. And sometimes there's a false sense of security that comes through having this and the relationships we believe it represents.
Yes, but we can't detach from it. That seems like the biggest problem.
Listen, 68% of Americans say that if they feel disconnected, they feel empty if they can't get to the device, okay? And some move into more of an anxiety disorder. You were kind of describing a little bit of anxiousness.
I was anxious. Yes. So, I mean, a brief personal story. So yesterday I left the office for 30 minutes or so and left my cell phone on my desk here.
Yes.
And the entire time I'm wondering, do I have it? Where is it? I can't find it. Is somebody else going to pick it up? Who's calling me that I'm not catching that call?
Yes.
I mean, it does send you into kind of a tizzy of anxiety when you don't have it nearby.
Exactly, and that's why the 68% of Americans say if I don't have it, I feel anxious. Now, for some, it moves more into more of an anxiety disorder, and we've seen people actually get sweaty palms, feel anxiousness, and they feel depressed because they can't connect.
Wow. So then, what's your advice to deal with that anxiety and to kind of get through that hurdle?
Sometimes we need to do a technology detox.
Okay.
Try it for one day over the weekend.
Right. I'm not sure how that's going to go. I mean, get the shakes.
But to see how well you can do. So how about a family that takes a whole weekend and unplugs and does a family detox?
Yep. When does this technology hooked, being hooked to all of our devices become an addiction? When do we cross over that line?
When it begins to interfere with our normal activities, our normal relationships. When I'd rather be online or on my device versus with a real human being, that's a sign I have a problem.
That's right. But so many of us use it in the workplace. I mean, we have to be on the phone and we have to be texting back and forth on the computer. But when we go home, you're saying do what?
Well, here's what we do at our house. All of our cell phones and our smart devices go on the chargers at a certain time each night. Our home, it's 8 o'clock. We begin to disconnect. We don't allow any texting with our kids after a certain period of time. Somebody say, that sounds strict. But you know what? I realized I had a problem at my home. When I have two sons. When they're across the dinner table texting each other instead of talking to each other, I go, you know what? We have a problem here.
Yes. I know in your book, Hooked, you also talk about multitasking.
Yes.
How does that play into all of this?
Actually, there's some really good research that talks about multitasking. I think it's really more like multitasked.
Oh, okay.
Because it creates something that I call partial attention. And that partial attention also means I'm partially distracted. Some of the research says, you think you can multitask, but when we try to do memory recall of what we were doing, those of us that were multitasking do not do well.
Yeah, so you end up doing very little things well.
Some females score a little better than males.
Okay, I'm not surprised by that. I'm not surprised at all. All right, before we let you go, Facebook, of course, went public today with the IPO. What's your take on Facebook and kind of its role in our lives? Because I think part of its success is people are addicted. They're hooked to it.
Oh, they are. Okay, 48% of 30 to 45-year-old individuals who use Facebook say they check it the first thing in the morning. That's like half are checking. They wake up in the morning and go into Facebook. 500 million users equates to about 1 in 13 people in the world are on Facebook. 71% of us Americans are on Facebook. What does all that mean? Well, I think sometimes if you think you have a lot of friends, the reality is you probably have about 7 to 15 friends.
That's right. If you're on Facebook too much, you're not out socializing and hanging out with your friends.
Yes, and you're not doing the normal relationship stages. And I think if you're a parent, you've got to know what's going on Facebook with your kids. What we do, we go online and we look at it together and talk about it together.
All right, we need a technology detox. Thank you.
Try it this weekend.
Thank you, Dr. Jantz.
Yes.
I will give it a shot. The book is called Hooked, getting us unhooked from some of our technology.
Yes.
Appreciate your time.
We got to keep balance.
We do have to keep balance. By the way, I have to take a call. Matt,
Yes.
back to you.
Go ahead and take that call, Barney.